Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Ronsley, and today we're doing episode 14. It's a growth tactic, and I'm here in beautiful Sydney trying to do my best to record an episode a day. So I get on a flight tonight to Hawaii, which is going to be interesting for a business event. But today we're talking about how to create online product, an online product that just not only delivers on your promise, but also creates customer case studies. Let's learn. Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome, you AI geek, to this podcast, my AI love affair. Consider this podcast your digital compass, guiding you through the labyrinth that is business growth using artificial intelligence. Running a business as a creative can sometimes be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But what if you had a secret tool that could align all the colors for you? That is AI. It's like a master key unlocking multiple doors. Thanks for being here. Let's learn. All right, creating an online product is a really interesting thing because depending on who you learn from, that kind of product style becomes the gospel. And it's really important to know that there are different types of online products that you can create. The main thing that you got to keep in mind when you're creating your product is, does it actually deliver on the outcome? What is the outcome that you're promising? What are the promises that you're making to your audience? And how is it that your product or service delivers that promise or that outcome? And usually, if you have a bunch of steps to explain how you achieve that outcome for your prospects, it's a way better chance of you selling your service and product. But let's talk about how to create it today. So there are three principles, but before we get into the principles, I want you to think of your product as a seed, right? The seed you're planting in this fertile ground, which you've got to cultivate of clients. Now, the cultivation is by you creating content that actually gets them to understand what their problems are and what their fears and frustrations are and how that can be solved so that you have built better trust in their mind. So the clients are the fertile ground that is being created through your content. Your product is the seed, and you want that seed to be planted in fertile ground. So ultimately, it creates these case studies, and they're the flowers that bloom that attract the other bees so that they can then go to this garden and get the same outcome like everyone else. So important for you to create this garden, so to speak, of case studies. And that's the delivery point, because everyone today is creating online products and they don't even know whether they can deliver on those promises. So it's really important that you prove that you can deliver on those promises. So let's talk about the principles. The first principle is the right seed. Now, that was really important for me to explain the analogy because the right seed is the product. So figuring out the product is the part where you want to solve the problem. It's not like looking at someone else's product and go, I want to do just like what they are doing. You want to change that attitude to go, can I create a product that solves a problem? That's the first principle. That problem is solved for a certain type of audience, because we tend to have these niches that are not really niches, like saying, well, I serve business owners. And if you say something like that, it's not a niche, it's just a bunch of people that you don't really know exactly who you are trying to help. But if you serve creative business owners that have a podcast and are very specifically looking to grow an online brand, that's very different to business owners in general. So product solves the right problem for a certain type of audience. And that right seed has to be for the right type of soil. So you've got to create this environment that allows these people to flourish. It's like a dojo. What's the best part of a dojo is that it allows people to fail and learn and relearn and then grow their confidence. And you should create something like that when you're creating a fertile ground. Principle number one. Number two is regular nourishment. Now, when I'm talking about regular nourishment for this fertile ground, I want you to think about feedback, because we get very attached to what we create as artists, as business owners, as creative entrepreneurs. We have this idea and we get attached to that idea. Really important for us to test that idea on the market. So feedback is key. To get proper feedback, it is important that you put that feedback into your onboarding sequence. You put that feedback into your regular recurring reps. If you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to regular recurring reps, watch some of the previous episodes because I break down that every one of us business owners need to have regular recurring reps. They are the things that you have regularly and you do daily, monthly, weekly, annually, quarterly, and they are just there. Those are your regular recurring reps and they return. So you put feedback into them, you put feedback into the communication when you're creating your product or delivering your product, and make sure you're getting the feedback from your customers and your clients, because that feedback incorporates improvements, and from those improvements you can create really good case studies. A really good way to get those case studies is NPS, or Net Promoter Score. If you just want to Google that, it'll tell you how exactly to implement that. But that's principle number 2. Number 3 is patience and persistence. We, in today's world, it's difficult to have patience. I'm in that boat, and I'm sure a lot of you are in that boat as well. If an Uber is slightly later than what it tells us on the screen, we get annoyed. And if our internet is slightly slower than normal, we get annoyed. So being patient and persistent in this process is really important when it comes to creating your online product for an outcome. So, with everyone wanting the 6-minute abs, it's really important to remind yourself and your audience that this takes time and it's important to do these steps in this order to get this result. All right, be truthful with them. So, those are the 3 principles. And today I'm going to highlight 2 things that I'd love you not to make, which is like just having this garden and you overwater the garden, or you put too much fertilizer, and that is not really good for the garden to flourish. And when you put all this information in front of your audience, you confuse them, and really important not to have too many features all at once. And the second mistake that I want you to avoid is you just have lack of guidance in your process and when you're delivering or you're creating your product. Your customer or your prospect doesn't really know how you work and what your systems and your processes are. So not having guidelines or guidance is like having no sunlight. For this garden, it's like the seeds are not going to grow, the plants are not going to grow without the sunlight, and your guidance is like that. So don't make those 2 mistakes. All right, 3 steps for you to, if you're like at the point where you're going, okay, Ronsley, I get the principles, I get the mistake to avoid, and I'm ready to create my online product. All right, here are 3 steps. The first step is to ideate for an outcome. All right. The second is to document for a place to send your leads. So you want to have a landing page where you can say, okay, here is the place that you go and buy. A lot of people are saying in their business that they're not getting customers, but they don't really have a menu to say, these are my products. And this happens often. And I just want to remind you that that's the second step. And it's a really important step. So document for a place to send your leads, and finally launch for revenue. If you don't tell people about this product, no one's going to buy. And it's for us creative entrepreneurs, it's important for us to tell people about what we have. Otherwise, no one's coming, right? No one's buying. So important to remember those 3 steps. Let's get into step number 1. When it comes to ideation, the thing that I want you to remember is recheck for the outcome, that your product is actually creating the outcome for the right client. And this is the method to deliver that outcome. You got to outline your delivery. How exactly are you going to deliver this outcome to your prospect? Like, how are you going to get them the result? And then you're going to outline what are the features, benefits, bonuses, what is the price, and you're going to have a launch plan. Now, I'm going to show you how to use prompts and AI to do this at what I call the speed of intelligence. So you don't have to write these all yourself and go, I don't even know where to start. I'm going to show you exactly where to start. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is documentation. So what I mean by document, I just use a fancy word. It's mainly now you have your features and benefits. You want to put it in one place where someone can go in here. It used to be a brochure. Now it's a landing page because you have an online product. You want to have a landing page. And I would suggest you spend at least 15, 20 minutes just Googling what a landing page is and the different types of landing pages that exist. Now, that's the first thing that you want to do. And once you ideate and you know your features and benefits, you want to put that in one place. And that is your landing page. In that landing page, and you're documenting these things, you're going to have a launch plan with your URL. So the one document, like a Google Doc, where you're like, this is the launch plan for my online product. And here are the main URLs. Here's the landing page URL. Here's the thank you page URL. Here's the URL to all my assets and images and videos. All those things live in one document. That's the first thing to document. The second thing is document is all the emails to audience, to partners, whatever you need to promote, all that copy. That's the second thing to document. The third is your landing page and your thank you page. Important to have a thank you page because that is by far the only page that gets 100% of visitors. So people that land on that page want to know what's on that page. And a lot of the times we just have this line that says you are subscribed when you can use that thank you page for a lot more. So document that, your landing page, your thank you page, and finally sort out your buying cart. Like, how do you get them to buy from you? Is it Stripe? Is it PayPal? What are you using in the back end? Are you using Thrivecart? Because that's what we're using. There's Shopify. There's so many different ways to create a buying cart. And that's what you do in the document step process. And again, I'm going to show you how to do this with AI. And the final step is launch. Now, in this, you've got all your assets in one place. You have your landing page, you have your copy. Who do you tell first? Make a list of that. Who are the people that will support you straight away? Your email database, your socials. How do you do this? Where do you broadcast to? And who can help you in this launch, right? Document all that and launch and let people know. All right. So you got the principles, you got the mistakes to avoid, and you understand the steps. Now let's talk about how to do this with prompts. First, go into ChatGPT and say, I do X, whatever that is, whatever outcome you're known for Y, who is your customer and your audience, and you are best known in your industry for Z. And you want to write that into ChatGPT and say, I do X for Y and I'm known for Z. Give me a list of potential ideas that I can create a product for Y, who is my audience, to solve the problems that they're dealing with, which are A, B, and C. Generate for me a list of 15 to 20 ideas, and it'll give you a list. Then you can say, based on this list, I like idea number 1, 9, and 16. Can you regenerate 5 more ideas that combine those 3? And when you come up with a great idea, then you go back into ChatGPT and you say, this is the idea I have. I want to deliver it like this. Can you do me a SWOT analysis on how this idea is going to work for this particular audience in my market? And then you look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your new idea, and you can risk analyze launching that in the best way possible. So that's prompt number 1. Prompt number 2 is you're going into ChatGPT and you're saying, hey, this is the product I have and I want to write a landing page. Can you create for me a landing page that works, engages my audience, and converts them into paying clients? You can use plugins as well within ChatGPT to search the web to give you really good landing page structures. That's the second prompt. The third prompt is you can use ChatGPT saying, this is my voice. I'd like you to write emails, and I'd like you to write an email in my voice, and you sort out all your email templates to your audience. Like, how do you let them know? How do you let your partners know who want to promote your online product for you? You write all your email templates using your voice, and you can use ChatGPT just for that. Now, if you are wondering what are these prompts, well, join us in the Discord group. So aigeeks.co/Discord. It's free. And all these prompts are going to be there in that Discord community. You get a whole bunch of AI geeks in there as well. So join us. That's prompt number 3. Number 4, you can go into Midjourney and create unique images for your online product, like images that will blow your mind. And again, if you're an AI geek level 2, you have access to my Midjourney Discord, where you see how I make and the prompts that I use to create these really unique images, which you can totally copy and paste. That's number 4. And number 5 is you're going to go back into ChatGPT and say, I want to incorporate feedback from my clients. How do I do this best with this product that I'm going to create? And this is how I'm going to deliver it. Can you give me ways to incorporate feedback into my product? Now, in half an hour, you will have your whole online product created if you just got the prompts to copy and paste. And this is the way that I've never seen potential like this, speed like this, the ability for you to do research like this, and the opportunity to take this and your business and the impact you're making to a whole new level. By the way, join us for the next episode where we're talking with David Bunce, who is creating this artificial intelligent marketing machine that takes feedback from your marketing and automatically corrects it on what you're putting out there. It's absolutely amazing. Join us for the next episode. And in the meantime, love what you do what you love.
Hey, AI Geek. Thanks for listening. Your job doesn't stop here. I want you to lend your voice to the conversation. So you can join those conversations, discussions, new trainings, new recordings, and the rest of the AI Geeks by going to aigeeks.co/Discord. Also, share this podcast with a friend, another potential AI Geek. Until then, much love.